And you best believe these owners are going to be scouring the market for who can reel in the big fish, the biggest fish of them all, Caitlin Clark. Take a look here. This is crazy. It is going down, y'all. It's going down like Young Jock. I keep trying to tell you. Sparks agree to part ways with general manager Reagan Pebley. The LA Sparks have agreed to part ways with general manager effective today.
The entire foundation of professional basketball leadership has officially been shaken at the highest level, and the multi-billion-dollar WNBA structure is now spinning into complete turmoil following one of the biggest corporate leaks in sports history. What was planned behind closed doors as a highly classified multi-million-dollar internal operation has now broken through every league non-disclosure agreement, exposing a massive shift that has permanently changed the balance of power inside the Indiana Fever organization. Tonight, we reveal the documented reports of a secret $50 million contract offer reportedly made by the billionaire ownership group of the Los Angeles Sparks, a major financial move that has completely disrupted the administration of head coach Stephanie White for months. Corporate executives and television networks reportedly tried to keep the growing internal conflict inside the Indiana Fever organization out of the spotlight, but that wall has finally collapsed. Caitlin Clark has reportedly accepted the record-setting West Coast terms, triggering an immediate internal shakeup that has left her former coaching staff facing intense pressure. The old system of management and internal control is now falling apart. Public scrutiny continues to grow while the countdown to the complete collapse of the Indiana Fever organization's credibility appears to have reached its breaking point. To understand why this unprecedented $50 million move is being described as the ultimate turning point for Caitlin Clark's career, the basketball world must first confront the difficult reality of the professional setbacks she reportedly experienced inside the Indiana Fever organization. Throughout the previous seasons, the leadership repeatedly made strategic decisions that many believe limited the generational star's basketball influence. Head coach Stephanie White was accused of relying on questionable bench rotations, deliberate late-game isolation decisions, and passive-aggressive press conference comments, all of which many believe were designed to protect the comfort of the existing organizational hierarchy.
More than they have leaned into her and built a team to play around her. They've spent 2 off seasons building a team to play without Caitlin Clark. It's clear as day. It's very simple, and I think the writing is pretty much already on the wall. At the end of the season, Kelsey Mitchell contract is up. Caitlin Clark is up for the Epic. Whatever. The Indiana Fever are going to be forced to pick a direction. They're either going to choose Kelsey Mitchell and Stephanie White, or they are going to choose Caitlin Clark. And I include Stephanie White in that because Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark, philosophically, they just don't see basketball from the same lens. It's that simple. I don't believe that they hate each other off the floor. I just don't think that on the floor, it's a good mix. I think they just see the game through 2 different lenses. And we have been yearning and calling for Stephanie White to actually stand up for, represent, and be front and center for Caitlin Clark. And she's refused to do it at every turn outside of a 30-second clip post the Alyssa Thomas situation, in which she backtracked on everything she said and made Alyssa Thomas the victim when her superstar point guard was the victim. It just makes no sense how Stephanie White has gone about this. And you see the things that LA Sparks doing. You got Cameron Brink, who's friends with Caitlin Clark. You got Kate Money Martin.
Every historic milestone achieved by Caitlin Clark was met with unsettling institutional silence from her own bench. A toxic culture of deep-rooted administrative jealousy consistently placed front office control ahead of global competitive success. The coaching staff truly believed they could continue limiting the sport's greatest economic asset without facing serious financial consequences, but by turning a world-class locker room into an environment filled with internal conflict. Indiana Fever management ultimately created its own downfall, pushing the franchise's biggest star toward the waiting arms of an ambitious Los Angeles Sparks organization that was prepared to make its move the moment the confidential financial plans of the Los Angeles Sparks ownership group were passed through private digital channels.
I want to get into the new ownership before I even get to what Coach had to say. Okay, now this new ownership group came in and they are looking to make major moves. Okay. Hold on one second. Now, this is Ramona Shelburne. Okay, a longtime sports writer for ESPN Los Angeles. Okay, now Ramona Shelburne said this. Okay, Sparks ownership, the Walter Group, has been much more involved with the franchise this season, just as they have with the Lakers. From what I understand, this is more of an organizational shift than anything specific. An organizational shift.
As a result, the entire corporate structure of professional basketball was hit by an immediate shock wave. Los Angeles Sparks leadership did not simply present a normal trade acquisition package. They carried out a carefully planned executive move designed to take advantage of the growing internal division within the Indiana Fever organization. Backed by major global investment resources, the Los Angeles Sparks created a massive $50 million long-term compensation framework built around unprecedented endorsement opportunities and future equity structures that moved beyond traditional luxury tax limitations. This major West Coast proposal was specifically designed to give Caitlin Clark complete professional freedom from the administrative toxicity she had reportedly been dealing with during her time in Indiana.
And the team in Atlanta. So obviously, I found out this morning, Reagan's a friend of mine, and I care about her, and this is the hard part in sports, right? But right now I'm just, focused on the team.
Sense of urgency kind of heightened, or has it already been kind of there already?
Like, what do you mean?
The sense of urgency of
I mean, we've had the sense of urgency all season. We've had just peaks and valleys with how we've played and who we've had active and injured and stuff, but I feel like we're playing.
Now, Lynn Roberts, she understands the pressure is on her as a coach, because there's no guarantee that you're gonna like make it. There's no guarantee that this ownership group is gonna keep you around. The ownership group may be scouring around for a coach that already has a great relationship with Caitlin Clark. They're gonna be looking to make a partnership, and I think, listen, man, things are happening behind the scenes. I 100% believe things are happening, and there's a chance that this thing could.
The internal reports of Caitlin Clark accepting this historic offer have triggered a wave of panic across corporate boardrooms, forcing major network sponsors to immediately pause their Midwest marketing plans as they realize the biggest television attraction in league history has reportedly chosen to leave the system behind. The fallout from this leaked financial decision has now centered directly on head coach Stephanie White, whose professional reputation has come under intense scrutiny across the digital landscape. The long-held image of complete executive control has quickly turned into a professional crisis as she now faces the reality of being outmaneuvered by her own superstar. Internal reports from the Indiana Fever organization claim emergency board meetings are now taking place around the clock, with key stakeholders demanding immediate accountability. Stephanie White now faces growing pressure as her authority inside the organization continues to be questioned. Her marketing value has reportedly declined, while major investors are said to be calling for immediate leadership changes before the franchise faces a larger fan-driven financial backlash. The corporate public relations strategy has largely fallen apart, while carefully prepared damage control statements continue to be criticized by millions of fans online. The countdown toward major organizational change now appears to be unfolding in full public view, with Caitlin Clark reportedly moving into the multimillion-dollar spotlight of the Los Angeles Sparks. The landscape of professional basketball has reached a defining moment. This is no longer being viewed as an ordinary player move, but as a major cultural and financial shift that many believe shows generational talent will no longer accept being held back by internal politics and administrative decisions.
If we don't have those, it's not going to be good, but we have the talent needed, even with KP out, even with Cam out, to be more competitive than that.
Yeah. During this stretch, talk to me about just the decision today to just practice and just say, we're just going to watch film. If you want to shoot a little bit, you can shoot a little bit, but not even really do too much on court, and just say, this is what we got to do. Here it is. Let's go do it.
And that's the reality at this point in the season too. We don't need to go through our plays right now today and wear them down physically. It's mentally having the focus and the intensity needed to execute. It's that simple. Now, it's hard to do, but I'm not saying it's simple to do, but it's a simple fix. Like that's what it is. Being in the right coverages, whatever it is, offensively being where we need to be. Like, do your job, all of us.
With Kelsey Plum and Brink out, you need more than just the starter. You're always going to need more than starters, but in particular, you're definitely going to need more from the bench. This last game, you played everybody, right? And everybody had a decent amount of minutes. What do you want to see from when you mix in players like Kate Martin and, you know, maybe Peely this week and Kiana Williams and just Emma Cannon, she got some quality time. Park, like whoever it is, like what do you want to see from these bench players when they're kind of in the mix with the starters to kind of just keep it going?
Well, they got to bring life off the bench, play with some confidence. And again, it's player one through every DB player. Like, execute what we're supposed to be doing. Be focused, be in the moment. Don't be thinking about the shot you missed or the foul you didn't get or the turnover you had or the fact that your player just scored. Like, next play mentality. It takes a level of toughness mentally. That's what I need from everybody.
With this stretch, have you considered going to more of a like a hockey substitution? I noticed there are a couple teams in the league, they just be popping players out there, and I looked at, like, for example, I looked at the Valkyries the other day, and like even the minutes, they look like an AAU team. The minutes, it's just...
By securing a historic $50 million independent future on the West Coast, Caitlin Clark has not only protected her own remarkable career but has also created a powerful example of athlete empowerment around the world, leaving those who stood against her to face the consequences of their own strategic mistakes. The hunters have now become the hunted, and the corporate reckoning continues to unfold with remarkable precision. The biggest question now is whether the remaining leadership within the Indiana Fever organization will step aside before their billion-dollar brand value suffers even greater damage, or whether this historic fan-driven movement will become the turning point for major leadership changes across the entire sports world. One thing is absolutely certain: the global basketball community is watching every corporate decision more closely than ever. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications, because this multi-million-dollar battle has reached its breaking point, and the next major development could change everything.